Greetings to one and all. Today we are going to discuss on a topic called as multiplications of natural number. The multiplications of two natural numbers can be solved recursively if a and b are two positive integers. Then the product a and into b is defined as added as a added to itself b times. An example you could see, if a is equals to 3, b is equals to 4. The product of a into b is equals to 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is equals to 12. As we all know that 3 into 4 is 12 itself. So the general form where we can define of multiplication of natural numbers, two natural numbers, product of a comma b, which is equals to, which results 0 if a is equals to 0 or b is equals to 0, and product of a comma b, which results a if b is equals to 1, and the product of a comma b, which results product of a comma b minus 1 plus a if above two conditions are not satisfied. Let us take another example. Given a is equals to 8, b is equals to 3. Evaluate 8 into 3 by recursive definitions. You could see that the steps. Step 1, a into 3. Step 2, a into 2 plus 8. Step 3, 8 into 1 plus 8. Step 4, 8 plus 8. Step 5, 8 plus 8 plus 8. Step 6, at last we are going to get a result as of 24. The result, the product of 8 into 3, we get the result as of 24. In this way, we are going to find the product of two natural numbers. To find the product, we must first evaluate 8 into 2 and then add 8. To evaluate 8 into 2, we must first evaluate 8 into 1 and add 8. Finally, 8 into 1 equal to 8 by the definition. Thus, 8 into 3 is equals to 8 into 2 plus 8, which is equals to 8 into 1 plus 8 plus 8, which is equals to 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is equals to 24. The given program which shows you the multiplications of two natural numbers. In this a subprogram has been written with the name product, int product with the two parameters a comma b, and now we'll have a conditions. If a is equals to 0 or b is equals to 0, which is going to result 0, as I have shown it in the general form. Else, if b is equals to 1, return a value will be returned to the main function. Otherwise, return product of a comma b minus 1 plus a. Now close the sub function. Next, now we have written main function. In that declared two variables as of x comma y and one more variable as result. Printf, enter the value of x and y. And next, let us read the two values a, x and y, and result is equals to product of x comma y. Next, we are going to print the result. So this program will result, that is x into y, that is if you pass the parameters as of 8 comma 3, and this program is going to result as of 24. I hope you understood the concept of multiplications of natural numbers. Now let us move on to the concept of Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series is a peculiar series of integers where each element in the series is the sum of two preceding elements, that is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34 and so on and so forth. So with this series you can see that here leaving first two digits, that is 0, 1. So as there are no two elements behind them, so now we are going to start from a third digit, that is 0 plus 1 which is equals to 1, 1 plus 1 which is equals to 2, 1 plus 2 which is equals to 3, 2 plus 3 is equals to 5, 3 plus 5 is equals to 8, so on and so forth. So if we consider the first digit in the series as F1 and second digit as F2 and the third digit as F3 and fourth digit as F4 and so on, then F1 is equals to 0, F2 is equals to 1, F3 is equals to 1 which is equals to F2 plus F1, F4 is equals to 2 which is equals to F3 plus F2, F5 is equals to 3 which is equals to F4 plus F3, F6 is equals to 5 which is equals to F5 plus F4. Hence, the general Fibonacci series can be represented as Fibo of n will result 0 if n is equals to 0 or n is equals to 1, and Fibo of n which is going to result 1 if n is equals to 2. If the Fibo of n which is going to have Fibo of n minus 1 plus Fibo of n minus 2 if n is greater than 2. So now let us look into a algorithm to find the nth element in the Fibonacci series. The first step, if n is equals to 0 or n is equals to 1, then it returns Fibo of 0. Step 2, else if n is equals to 2, then Fibo will return 1. Step 3, else if n is greater than 2, then Fib is equals to, that is a variable, Fib is equals to Fibo of n minus 1 plus Fibo of n minus 2, and the next step will be end the if statement and end the next step will be return Fib variable, and step 6 or last step will be stop. Now just the whole process which we have seen it in the previous algorithm, this process is implemented in stack as given in this slide. The first slide consists step 1, step 2, step 3 may be considered as push operations, and step 4 and step 5 may be considered as pop operations. And the next we'll move on to the concept of binary search. So far we studied about the importance of recursion in the complex mathematical functions such as factorial, multiplications of two natural numbers and Fibonacci series, so on. In addition to this, they are also applicable in the daily activities of computing. Example, searching a word in dictionary. Consider a dictionary as an array of elements where the entries are in alphabetical order. If we wish to find a single entry, we need to follow a process called search. There are two ways of searching any entry in an array. The first way is sequential search or linear search. The second way is binary search. Sequential search is the search where each element or entry of the array is to be compared with the required entry sequentially, starting from the first entry of the array until the required entry is found. If the array is of large size, this type of search, that is linear search, becomes quite cumbersome and time consuming process. So, which is not suggestible if an array size is bigger or large in size. So, better to go for a binary search. So now let us look at into a binary search. Binary search is the one of the best suits to solve the complexity which you have seen it in a linear search, that is if array size is a large size. In this binary search, if the array is of large size, all the entries are first arranged in either ascending order or descending order and then made into two halves. The required entry is first compared with the middle element. If they are equal, the search has been completed successful. If the middle element is greater than the item being searched for, the search process is repeated for the first half of the array. Otherwise, the process is repeated for the second half, or we can say it as a last half also. So that each time a comparison is made, the number of elements yet to be searched is cut into half. That is why this method is very useful for large arrays. Let us consider an array A in ascending order as the elements between A of first and A of last. It should always be noted that the item to be searched should lie between these elements A of first and A of last. If we consider an item to be searched, then item should lie between A of first and A of last. Initially, first is set to 0 and last is set to n minus 1, where n is the size of a array. Let us look at into a algorithm. The first step, the middle element of an array A of middle can be calculated by using middle is equals to first plus last divided by 2. That is, middle is equals to first plus last whole divided by 2. The second step, now the item to be searched, item is to be compared with A of middle. If they are equal, then middle plus 1 is to be returned for the position at the item. That is, therefore, if item is equals to A of middle, return middle plus 1. Now we'll move on to the step 3. If the required element item is not equal to the middle element, that is A of middle, then it lies either in the first half or in the second half, that is last half of the array. If the item is less than A of middle, it lies in the first half and middle minus 1 is assigned to last. If the item is greater than A of middle, it lies in the last half, that is second half, and middle plus 1 is assigned to it. That is, if item is greater than A of middle, first is equals to middle plus 1, or else last is equals to middle minus 1. Now the control should go back to step 1 again, and the process is repeated until the required element is found. Note that as the process proceeds, first value increases gradually and last value decreases. It is important to be observed. If first exceeds last, it means that the required item is not found in the array. That is, if first is greater than last, then you print a statement as stating element not found. So above the program which shows the complete explanation what I have explained it in the algorithm. Just look at the program. In this program, a sub function which have mentioned it as int binary search, which has an arguments int a as an array, that is array has been passed as an argument, int item, int first, and last. These are the parameters which binary search function has it, and a variable which I have declared it as a local variable int middle. And now the condition, if first is greater than last, return -1, that is it should be stated as of the element is not found in the array, or else middle is equals to first plus last whole divided by 2. If item is less than a of middle, binary search of a comma item comma first comma middle -1, as we have discussed in the algorithm. Or else if item is greater than a of middle, binary search of a comma item comma middle plus 1 comma last, else return middle. Close the if statement, close the function. Now let us look into a main function. In the main function we have passed array, and then later it asks item to be searched, and we have taken a result variable. Result is equals to binary search, which we have assigned a function binary search, that is called a function binary search a comma item comma 0 comma n minus 1. We have passed first and last value. If result is equals to -1, as I have stated it, if result is equals to -1, print item not found, that is item not found in an array. So or else if the element found at a particular position, this we are going to print it by with this program. I hope you guys have understood the concept of binary search. Thank you.